In the vastness of the Pacific Ocean in 1941, a lone patrol vessel reported something unusual. The radio operator sent one final message before the transmission abruptly cut out. No distress call followed. No coordinates. Only silence remained in the air. In 1941, the Pacific Ocean was no longer simply a stretch of open water. It had become a strategic frontier. Nations watched each other carefully. Naval patrol routes stretched farther than before. Officers and crew members worked under orders that shifted with each passing month. Rumors traveled faster than ships. Radios carried news of alliances forming and tensions rising. The small patrol vessel at the center of this story did not carry fame or headlines. It was one of many sent to monitor remote sea lanes. Its crew was modest in number. Young officers. Experienced seamen. A single radio operator whose voice connected them with the rest of the world. Their duty was routine. Observe. Report. Stay alert. Supplies arrived on schedule. Maintenance was conducted with discipline. Logs were written with precision. The crew understood their isolation. They also understood the responsibility that came with it. Across the Pacific, fleets maneuvered and fortified their positions. Submarines moved beneath the surface. Aircraft expanded their reach. Yet for many patrol ships, daily life remained steady and predictable. Radio communication had become essential. It allowed tracking, coordination, warnings. Messages were encoded and transmitted at regular intervals. Every signal mattered. Every interruption drew attention. By late 1941, naval commands across multiple nations had begun shifting patrol regions. Some ships were redirected. Others were told to maintain their course but increase vigilance. The patrol vessel in this account received such instructions. Nothing alarming. Nothing extraordinary. Just a reminder that circumstances might change without warning. The crew followed procedures. They charted their position. They reported sightings. They kept to their assigned sector. Their radio logs show consistent check-ins. Calm wording. Standard codes. And then, one transmission stood out. The radio operator recorded atmospheric interference. A faint echo across the channel. He repeated the message protocol. The ship acknowledged an unidentified signal in their vicinity. Static followed. The operator tried again. The voice faded. Only fragments remained. No alarm was raised at first. Invisible disturbances were common. Weather. Distance. Equipment strain. But the crew had made a note. Something unexplained had reached them across the airwaves. The final entry in the official record states the time and date. The operator began another transmission shortly afterward. His tone remained precise. Professional. Focused. Then the message stopped mid-sentence. The line went dead. No further communication was received. And the ocean remained quiet. Naval stations waited for the scheduled follow-up report. Nothing arrived. Standard protocol dictated repeated contact attempts. Calls were transmitted on primary and backup frequencies. Hours passed. Radios stayed tuned. Still no reply. Commanders reviewed prior messages. The last complete signal gave no indication of trouble. Weather conditions in the area were stable. No storms. No known hazards. Traffic was minimal. The patrol route lay far from major shipping lanes. Nearby vessels were contacted. None had reported distress signals. None had seen smoke. No lifeboats. No debris. Silence continued across the network. Naval intelligence examined the unidentified signal mentioned earlier. It remained unclear whether the sound was mechanical, environmental, or human. Analysts replayed recordings. The distortion made interpretation impossible. The possibility of hostile presence existed. So did the possibility of malfunction. But without confirmation, no conclusion could be reached. The missing patrol vessel was marked as overdue. Search orders were issued. Aircraft were assigned to sweep the region. Larger ships expanded their patrol radius. Observers scanned the horizon. They searched for oil slicks, floating wreckage, any trace. They found nothing. Navigation officers considered alternate theories. Equipment failure, sudden onboard emergency, fuel complications, a catastrophic event that prevented radio use. Yet even then, something should have appeared on the surface. A fragment, a barrel, a fragment of wood. The ocean remained empty. Families of crew members received carefully worded notices. The wording spoke of uncertainty. It spoke of ongoing effort. It avoided finality. Meanwhile, radio listening posts continued to monitor for stray signals. Occasionally, faint sounds would emerge through static. None could be connected to the missing vessel. None contained recognizable identifiers. The ship's name slowly disappeared from daily reports. Attention shifted to new developments across the Pacific. Fleets mobilized. Conflicts deepened. New stories replaced old ones. But in the official logs, the patrol vessel stayed frozen in its last recorded moment. A half-completed message. A signal cut short. Coordinates unknown. Some officers kept the case in mind. They wondered about hidden submarines, mines, human error, environmental forces. Yet the absence of evidence prevented certainty. The radio operator's final words remained preserved. Not dramatic. Not fearful. A routine statement interrupted by silence. Years later, researchers revisited the event. Archival documents provided only fragments. Technical notes. Personnel lists. Maintenance records. Nothing revealed the final minutes on board. The sea had erased them. And so the unanswered question persisted. What happened in that quiet stretch of ocean in 1941? No one could say for sure. The turning point of this story lies not in action but in disappearance. The patrol vessel did not sink in a witnessed battle. It did not transmit a final plea. It simply stopped speaking. The radio fell silent, and with it, every human voice on board. Search operations eventually slowed. Fuel costs. Strategic priorities. Weather. All influenced the decision-making process. The Pacific was vast. Resources were finite. Day by day, the likelihood of survival diminished. Investigators focused on the radio operator's last recorded line. The words indicated an attempt to respond to something. A message? A sound? A signal? He began routine acknowledgement. Then the recording ended. Some believe the interruption meant sudden catastrophe. An explosion. A hull breach. A torpedo or internal accident. Something instant and overwhelming. Something that allowed no time for emergency protocol. Others thought of slower events. Carbon monoxide. Flooding. Mechanical breakdown. A disabled engine leaving the ship adrift. But even then, Time should have permitted at least one final call. The unexplained signal earlier in the log became central to speculation. Intelligence departments debated whether it came from an unknown submarine, a disguised vessel, or simply atmospheric distortion. None of these theories could be proven. The emotional climax belonged to those waiting ashore. Families watched the days pass. Telegrams arrived with phrases such as missing and unconfirmed. The absence of certainty weighed more heavily than final news would have. Crew members' personal items remained in storage. Photographs, letters, uniforms. They became static reminders of motion that had ceased without warning. By the time the search ended, every possible location within reason had been examined. No trace emerged. The ocean had accepted the ship entirely. Naval reports closed the file with formal language. Lost at sea. Presumed perished. 'Cause unknown. The erasure was complete. And the last signal remained unfinished forever. The patrol vessel never returned. The harbor stayed empty. The dock workers watched the water. They waited for movement. None appeared. Families gathered near the shoreline. They listened for news. They watched the mail. They searched every headline. The days passed quietly. The final radio entry ended mid-sentence. The voice stopped. No apology. No distress call. Only static. Operators replayed the line. They heard nothing more. Search ships crossed the Pacific. They scanned the open water. They waited for debris. They searched for oil. The sea gave nothing back. Reports were filed. Cabinets filled with paper. Officers moved on to other assignments. New patrols replaced the lost one. The war expanded. Attention shifted. The men on board became names on lists. Their cabins stayed empty. Their uniforms stayed folded. Letters remained unopened. Small personal items were stored away. No one came to claim them. Time softened the story. First, the details faded. Then the faces. Then the questions. Eventually, only the word missing remained. There was no wreck. No memorial. No marked coordinates. Only waves. The Pacific erased the ship. It erased the sound of the engines. It erased the voices on deck. The radio rooms grew quiet. Static filled the air. Other messages arrived. New signals layered over the old silence. The last unfinished sentence disappeared beneath them. Families stopped asking. Slowly. Carefully. They learned to live beside uncertainty. The silence became part of their homes. Years passed. Records aged. Ink faded. Archivists stored the files in boxes. Dust gathered on top of them. No one reopened the case. The story slipped away from public memory. It did not enter textbooks. It did not reach museums. It belonged only to the empty ocean. The patrol vessel vanished. The men vanished. Even the search for them vanished. Only a broken signal remained. Unfinished. Unanswered. The Pacific continued on. Waves rose. Waves fell. Routes changed. Ships came and went. There is no final message. No conclusion. No sound. Only silence. And that silence was forgotten too. If this story mattered to you, consider subscribing. More forgotten history is coming.